Carlos Baleba. For Carlos Baleba, the contacts are still ongoing. This is a difficult deal for Manchester United, not just financially, but also in terms of strategy, because Brighton at the moment are still not giving an official number to Manchester United. They did a similar situation with Moises Caicedo. It was 2 years ago when Caicedo went to Chelsea. They were not giving a number, not giving an indication. Then, when Liverpool arrived with an official bid, Chelsea matched the bid, offered a bit more, and signed the player. But Brighton keep not giving a number at the moment for Baleba. They say, we don't want to sell. Sorry, the message is quite clear. We don't want to sell. That's the point for Brighton. But at the moment, what's important to mention is that Manchester United are still there. Manchester United are still in contact with the agents. Manchester United are still working on the deal. Then, they want to understand how high is this wall from Brighton, but they are still working on the Carlos Baleba deal. They are not giving up at the moment. Difficult? Yes. Very difficult? Of course. But Man United are still there. And the player, I think this is important, is not closing the doors at all. Personal terms are not a problem. European football, no. For Man United this season, for Baleba is not a problem. He would go to Man United immediately. I can guarantee that. But, club to club, we are still far from solution. So, let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what Brighton decide to do. But for sure, the story for Carlos Baleba remains ongoing. Then, can't go ahead forever, because obviously, at some point, Man United will need to decide what they want to do. Brighton also maintaining their position. Let's follow this Baleba story, because it's going to be one of the important ones of these final weeks. Man United are focused on different things. City working on that, but only if Ederson leaves. On Donnarumma, guys, I wanted to add one more thing. When we mentioned Manchester United, now the focus is on different things. Which things? Midfield. Carlos Baleba. Contacts are continuing on daily basis with his agents and also with Brighton. For Manchester United, in order to present an official bid and to understand if that could be worth negotiating with, of course, Brighton for Carlos Baleba, it's important to understand more on the outgoings. Because selling players for Manchester United or finding solutions for the players who are not part of the squad is really important. With all these stories, Sancho, Anthony, Garnacho, for Man United could be important to raise some money and see what happens with the Carlos Baleba story. Because remember that Baleba is keen on a move to Manchester United, open to joining Manchester United, no problems on personal terms, but the deal depends on Brighton, and Brighton will not make it easy. But Man United are still there for Baleba. And
Manchester United have reportedly hit a stalemate in their pursuit of Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba. The 20-year-old has been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford this summer, but Brighton remain firm, determined to hold on to one of their most prized assets. Baleba, whose contract runs until June 2028, was a key figure for Brighton last season. He featured 34 times in the Premier League, helping Fabian Hürzeler's side claim big wins over Manchester City, Chelsea, and even the eventual champions Liverpool. The Cameroonian's form has not gone unnoticed. Interest is said to be coming from across Europe, with United believed to be leading the chase. However, Fabrizio Romano reports that Brighton are standing their ground. On his YouTube channel, he explained that the Seagulls are using the same hardball tactics they deployed when selling Moises Caicedo to Chelsea last summer. That transfer dragged on for weeks and only went through after Chelsea agreed to pay a record fee. If history is any guide, United may need to pay far more than they'd like to land Baleba. Otherwise, this saga could drag deep into the window.